Hi guys, I'm Andy, welcome back to Backpacking UK. Hiking, backpacking and wild camping your thing. Please hit that subscribe button because that's what this channel's all about. Right, really excited today because I get to share with you my 3F UL Gear LanShan 2 tent. Now this is the double walled 4-season version of the LanShan 2. This is a great tent, yet weighs just 1,150 grams. So it's an ultralight tent, it's still a 2-person tent too. Best of all, it's excellent value for money. This is just £152 from Camperlists or Colin Outdoors, and that includes your delivery, VAT and duty too. So this LanShan 2 tent is obviously super lightweight, but it's also really compact as well. It's just 35 centimetres by 15 centimetres. So it hardly takes up any space in your backpack. So I've had this 3F UL Gear LanShan 2 tent for over a year now. It's about time I get to share it with you and review it and give you my thoughts. I also have the pro version of this tent too. One of them's a clear winner, which I'll come to in the end. But for now, what we're going to do, I'm just going to show you what's inside this LanShan 2 tent bag, and then we're going to get it pitched. So as this is a trekking pole tent, it's very simple. You've got your inner and outer, which gets pitched together. No tent poles. I've left the tags on, which I do on most of my tents. So if you've got any questions, please put them in the comment section. I'll get back to you. It's got 8 of these pegs. They're really nice pegs. They are lightweight and they do bend a little bit, I've got to be honest there, but really decent pegs there. And also you get a little bit of repair fabric. Now some people really struggle pitching trekking pole tents. Now it's quite simple really. You have to peg out the corners first. If you do this, they fly up really quickly. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to set it all out. I've cleared the ground for sticks because it is a lightweight tent, so it's got quite thin fabric, so you don't want anything piercing through that bathtub floor. So I cleared the ground, just going to lay it out and peg out the 4 corners with the tent pegs. So next up, I'm going to start erecting the LanShan 2 tent. Now I've got these trekking poles set up at 125 centimetres. You can slightly raise and lower the tent, which will also give you more or less gap between the fly sheet and the ground. So depending on how cold it is, you can control that gap. But for today, I'm going to set these up at 125 centimetres. So I'm just going to start poking them through the little holders. There's also a little strap for the inner to connect to the tent pole too. I'm just going to loosely peg one out and then go round the other side to put the other one in. So really quickly, we've got this tent up, no falling trekking poles. It's dead easy. Now just want to fine tune it, go round the tent, get all those guy lines nice and taut, get that fly taut, get it looking good and ready. So this is the 3F UL Gear LanShan 2 tent pitched. This is like the khaki colour or brown or sand, depending on how you want to call it. But you've got guy points at each end, which are adjustable, toggles for the doors. You've got a vent at each end. You've got a door and a vestibule on each side, which is fully adjustable, so you can get that fly nice and taut. Down here you've got these little pulls, so you can get that fly really nice and taut. It's a great looking tent, I really like this. You've also got some additional guy points which I've done there where I've had it out in the wind. It's not windy today, so I don't need them, but they will give you much more stability. And if you do want to take this tent out in the wind, I'd highly recommend the Delta pegs too, but just be mindful you need reasonably soft ground to get the Delta pegs in. And I've had the 1-person version of this, and the 2-person is much better. So the fabric used in this tent is a 15D nylon fabric for the fly sheet, 15D fabric for the inner, and a 20D fabric for the bathtub floor, which is quite thin, but this has a hydrostatic head rating 5,000 and the bathtub floor is 6,000. So even though it's really thin, lightweight material, it's really waterproof as well. So let's take a look inside the LanShan 2. So you can choose which door you want to open. So I'm just going to undo one of them, like so, and then just zip it up. It's got a bit of Velcro to keep like the rainstorm flap at bay, and then just wrap these doors around like so. So with the inner, as it's a 4-season tent, you've got lots of solid mesh, but you do have some see-through mesh at the top, which really does help ventilation, especially when you've got these hoods as well. It just lets a bit of the tent breathe, less likely to get condensation build up. So let's just unzip one of the doors and let's take a look inside. So let's take a look inside the LanShan 2 tent. So you've got pocket on one end, you've got lots and lots of solid mesh, being a 4-season tent, and you've got the little see-through mesh at the top where the vents are. You've got toggles and a double zipper for the door, but as you can see, there's absolutely loads of space. So inside this LanShan 2 4-season trekking pole tent, we've got a length of 220 centimetres, a width of 110 centimetres, and a height, because that's how I've set my trekking poles up, at 125 centimetres. So you probably need to take 5, maybe even 10 centimetres off the height of the trekking pole to get the true height of the tent. But if I'm sitting bolt upright, there's still loads of space above my head. I'm 5'8", 172 centimetres. Even if you're a really tall person, there's plenty of space in this tent for you. So review time. What do I think of the 3F UL Gear LanShan 2 tent? It's an absolute cracker for the money. It's got to be 10 out of 10 for value for money. £152, it weighs 1,150 grams, and yet you've got this big, spacious 2-person tent. It's really quite amazing. It's nicely built. Now, this 4-season version comes seam sealed. The Pro doesn't, especially the 3-season version, because I've got that. I know it doesn't come seam sealed, whereas this does, so you don't have to worry about that. The other difference is the 4-season version is a proper double wall tent. It's much better. I've got the 3-season Pro version. You get lots of condensation in that. If you touch the fabric of your clothing on the edge or your head, it's going to get wet. Not in this 4-season version. Now, is it a 4-season tent? Not really, let's be honest. It's a really good 3+ season tent for the UK market. I would pick this over the Pro season one all day, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, even though it's a 4-season tent, the solid mesh is really thin. In the wind, you really need a Delta peg on the door ends to really strap it down. The skinny little pegs aren't long enough for a 4-season tent, and they're not thick enough too. They'll ping out the ground if the wind's really bad. However, a set of tent pegs, you can change them for a tenner, not a problem. Delta pegs, you probably get 2 for a tenner as well, so job done. This is a seriously compact and lightweight tent. It's superb. Now the other thing I've got to say with it being a 4-season tent, the fly doesn't come all the way down to the floor. It's pretty good at the ends, but the doors definitely not. I know I said you can lower the tent poles, which definitely helps, but you know, it's no Hilleberg, that's for sure. But it's just such a good tent. Value for money, I love value for money products, and I've always said it, the more cheap budget end of the scale, that tends to be where the value for money bargains can be had, and this is one of those tents. It's really popular, and it's really popular for a reason. It is because of that. It's light, compact, excellent value for money, tick, tick, tick. It's superb. So what I'm going to do is put all the details in the description. I'm also going to put links to Camperlists and Colin Outdoors. So hopefully you like this review. Please check my other reviews out, and hope to see you backpacking soon. Cheers.